And welcome back to the University of Maryland for the world premiere tournament of Core Disruption. It is time for the semifinals, and up first, it's the #1 seed Morons Cubed going up against Team Trap Money.
Absolutely, John. In the first match today, Morons Cubed came out and ran 9 lasers, 3 per tank. Overall, one of the teams to actually do it successful. We've seen a lot of teams go down on that strategy today. It looks like they will be running something similar, but they are switching in and bringing a railgun onto one of their Scorpion tanks.
So we're seeing all Scorpions once again. The poor Talon tank hasn't been selected once at all today. The Talon, the other tank available for the world premiere tournament as well, but the Scorpion obviously being favored by all these teams. But yeah, Joey, absolutely. The Morons Cubed being the only team to successfully run 9 lasers, now switching up here in the semifinals. During the break, Joey, I did have a chance to kind of take a look at some of the teams here, and they were definitely talking strategy before going into the semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And I think one of the reasons we're not seeing the talent as much, looking back to the group stage, there were some heavier tanks available with the treads on there, like the Behemoth, for example. The Talon with a very high movement speed, able to really rotate around before the Behemoth was able to get the turret around on it, so that extra movement speed becoming a bigger factor against treaded tanks.
So the top seed, Morons Cubed, coming out with a little hybrid style. 1 tank solely not on lasers, so we'll see if that plays out as well. Again, Morons Cubed, the #1 seed, played incredibly well during the play-in phase of this tournament just roughly a year ago. Now they're going up against Team Trap Money. There's a little bit of a hybrid feature themselves, but they're also favoring that railgun as well.
Yeah, a lot of railguns on the side there. It looks like 5, 6, 7 railguns in total for the side of Team Trap Money. That ended up being very good for them in their last match, Sean. We'll see how it goes up against the #1 seed, Morons Cubed.
Morons Cubed on the blue side, Team Trap Money on the red. Both teams out of their hangars, and the semifinals are officially underway as Team Trap Money is looking to try to pull the upset against the top-seeded Morons Cubed. And again, Morons Cubed played that little bit more of aggressive style that we saw earlier on in today's broadcast. We're seeing that once again. Both teams converging quickly. Now, this is a gamble. They're going through the alleyway here. They're kind of trapped. And now Team Trap Money has seen them. And now it's up to Morons Cubed to try to back out. They are stuck in an alleyway. That position is not where you want to be.
Not at all. And the damage coming down. Derpy taking a lot of damage to the front of his tank already.
Team Trap Money had the advantage there. Poor positioning from Morons Cubed. Now they're able to back out of it. Now they're looking to flank on the other side. Koi and Amon trying to move away as now Morons Cubed being ultra aggressive, taking it to him. Creep pushing all the way up, laying some damage down while taking almost none on his end, but Derpy takes a massive hit to the front of the tank, and his core is already taking damage on the side of Morons Cubed.
Yeah, very different strategy here. A lot of teams sitting back and painting with the lasers. This strategy in particular, we see a little round-around going here, John, almost like a merry-go-round as the laser damage keeps coming, but we're also seeing a lot of damage come out from that railgun as well.
And Amon now taking damage on the side of Team Trap Money, down to 70 on the core, but Derpy's down to 60 as well. The aggressive play for Morons Cubed comes out and strikes first as Amon drops down. It is now 3 versus 2. Morons Cubed being ultra aggressive. It's actually paying off for them once again as Koi and Walsh are trying to do everything they possibly can to stay alive. Now Swash now has his core taking damage as well, down to 70 health. Creep has the core hit as well, down to 86. And now it's a 3 versus 1. Koi, the last man standing for Team Trap Money. And it's just a matter of time as Brandon's tank still looks pretty fresh. Creep down to 36, a massive hit coming in from Koi. But it may not be enough as he is fully surrounded by all 3 players from Morons Cubed. Creep down to 6, 37 for Koi. It's just a matter of time. Does take 1 down. Koi down to 7. Will take 1 with him, but that will do it. Morons Cubed taking game #1. That aggressive style once again paying off for Morons Cubed. Really the only team that's pulled off the aggressive play to the point to a win here so far today.
Yeah, absolutely. That railgun does a lot of damage, John, but it takes longer to reload as well, and we see Morons Cubed taking advantage of that here. A lot of teams sitting back and painting with lasers, and while that works, they get aggressive a little bit later on. Morons Cubed going aggressive all the way from the beginning. but also pulling in a little bit of a railgun of their own, laying down that heavy damage after the paint comes down on the armor from the lasers.
Yeah, it seems like that gamble paid off here a little bit. All 3 tanks not going lasers. They had the one that was fully stocked on the railguns. It seemed to have paid off. It seemed to work. They were able to take down Team Trap Money pretty quickly once they really pressed the gas pedal down on their tanks and just really took it to them. Team Trap Money responded pretty well, but it just came down to the point where they were fully surrounded and their positioning was completely torn, surrounded on all sides.
Absolutely. The lasers lay down that consistent damage, and it does overheat after a little while, but the big thing there is that the recharge time is much, much quicker than what we see coming out of the railguns. They're able to take advantage of that by pushing up so aggressively.
Now, I want to go back here towards the beginning of this game when Morons Cubed made the decision to go into that alleyway along the wall using that obstacle as they were trying to kind of be a little sneaky, trying to sneak up on Team Trap Money. That was a great opportunity for Team Trap Money. If they were able to catch them in that alleyway, they could have easily taken down a tank very early in that game, but instead they weren't able to see where Morons Cubed were, and they were able to recover in time.
Yeah, that was a big difference maker there. They did get pinched there early on, but because they had an out through the backside of the alley, they took it as a smart team would. They were able to back out and reset themselves the way they needed to.
So now going into Game 2, Team Trap Money has their backs against the wall. It's a must-win here in the semifinals if they want to punch their ticket into the grand finals. The team that does not advance will be dropping into the third place game, which will be carried later on here this evening. But nonetheless, both of these teams, they are looking for that ultimate prize. They want the money. They want the bag, Joey. They want to go home as the first ever champions here of Core Disruption. And for Morons Cube, they're 1 win away from punching their ticket into the grand finals. But Team Trap Money, I feel like they're going to come out. They're going to make those changes that they need to coming here into Game 2. We've seen what they're capable of in their quarterfinal matchup. What are they going to do here to possibly take Game 2 off of Morons Cubed?
Yeah, the biggest thing is if Moron Cube stays with this strategy, they're going to come in with those 2 lasers. They're going to run 1 railgun as well, paint the damage with the lasers, and then put down the finishing blows with that railgun. We saw it work out very well with the aggression that they played in this last match. Now, if you're the other team here, if you're Team Trap, maybe you start sitting back a little bit. Maybe you start having them move forward, and you can lay down that damage while they try to close the gap.
Now, something I would like to see, too, is when Morons Cube makes that aggressive push, rotate around them, surround them on all sides. There's no way for them to be able to take a look at where every single person is on the other team. When that happens, you can easily put down that damage. And if you're running lasers as well, then that's a way you can put down more consistent damage. You have the railgun. It takes longer for you to reload and get your shots off in time. When you're surrounded like that, you can easily spread the damage around, and that might be a tactic that they can take here going into Game 2.
Yeah, the surrounding strategy can work, but it doesn't work as well with the railgun because of that reload time. So if they do throw a few lasers into their lineup or a machine gun or change things up a little bit where they're not just running slow weapons, that could definitely work out as well.
Teams are getting ready for the second match here in this best of 3 in the semifinals. Morons Cubed 1 win away from punching their ticket to the grand finals. Game 2 coming up. Again, it is all Scorpions across the board, and now we're seeing more hybrid picks here when it comes to weapons. Now on the side of Morons Cubed, instead of 2 tanks running full lasers, we're seeing that hybrid lasers and railguns across the board with 1 full railgun tank as well.
Yeah, I really like that adjustment for Morons Cube. You realize the railgun is laying down that heavy damage, but you're still bringing that consistent lighter damage from the lasers as well. Mixing it in with that heavy damage kind of allows them to change their strategy up on the go.
Team Trap Money again relying on that railgun as their main damage dealer on their Scorpion tanks. Again, they need to win Game 2 to force Game 3 against the #1 seeded Morons Cubed. Again, that name does not check out, Joey. Morons Cubed playing out of their mind here today at the World Premier Tournament of Core Disruption. As we head into Game 2 again, Morons Cubed 1 game away from the grand finals. Thousands of dollars on the line. And they are so close for their opportunity to secure the big win. They just need to get 1 more here against Team Trap Money. Team Trap Money looking to pull the upset. They need to win Game 2 to force Game 3. And in very unlike Morons Cubed fashion, a little bit of a slower start. Teams starting to try to feel each other out. Team Trap Money holding position a little bit, looking to use buildings as cover. Morons Cube being a little bit more mobile, swinging out wide. Now we see Koi and Amon moving up. towards the center of the map. They know where Morons Cubed is now. All three players are there. They are grouped up using that side back wall. Koi is exposed along with Amon. All three players exposed for Team Trap Money, and the damage is starting to come out. Dark orange starting to appear on the front side of Koi's tank.
Yeah, that is big, quick damage coming out from the side of Morons Cube. And then they use the building very effectively, wrapping around here, resetting themselves, and once again, trying to find that line of sight of Koi.
Morons Cube definitely being the aggressor again. Team Trap Money already having to pedal backwards. Moving backwards in the tank is incredibly difficult. They crash into each other. Koi and Amon make contact, and now they're all over the place trying to move around the damage coming out, but Morons Cube still taking a majority of the damage in that exchange. The tanks on the side of Trap Money still looking pretty good as more tanks collide into barriers and other obstacles on the field. Derpy moving around. Amon is right next to him. Don't know if he's aware of that, but the damage creep taking damage to his core. Morons Cubed in trouble. They might go down a player. 49 health left for Creep.
Now, one big thing we're missing here, John, is the fact that they're all ganging up on Koi. That is their real objective here, to take one tank out early on. And while they are laying down that damage, now finally a lot coming in, down to 20 health remaining. Koi is going to drop here. Creep drops as well, though, so 2v2, and the damage already much heavier on the side of Morons Cube.
Absolutely. Team Trap Money trying to pull off that win. It is close quarter combat right now. They're not spreading out. They are all staying grouped. Other cores not exposed as of yet. A lot of damage being put out. Derpy taking damage to the core now, down to 70. Walsh dropping down as well at 60. Swalsh is in trouble. Both down below 50. And now it's a 2v1. Team Trap Money down to the last man. It is Amon trying to take down Derpy to even it out. He will do that. That was a 1v1 full core in attack for both teams. Amon and Brandon, 100% core still intact. Damage around all panels for Amon except for that back left. Brandon looking really good on the rear part of his tank as well. That's something that Amon wants to focus on, is those front panels, but he's now taking damage. Down to 60 in this 1v1. Trying to rotate around. He's gonna get cornered. No, just misses the obstacle. 30 health left. He needs to put the damage down. Now he is stuck. Amon is in a situation he does not want to be in. He is currently trying to run away. Can't do it fast enough. Did his best. Started to get more damage down on that front right panel of Brandon's, but just wasn't enough to break into the core of the tank. And Team Trap Money takes the 2-0 series win in a hard-fought match there in game number 2. And Morons Cube going on to the grand finals. They'll have a chance to take home the big cash prize. Now for Team Trap Money, they'll drop down into the 3rd place game, and they will take on the losers of our next matchup coming up. But Morons Cube, the #1 seed, moving on to the grand finals.
Yeah, Morons Cube with another 2-0 here. And John, it was over well before that 1v1. The main reason being Brandon went untouched for so long in the back line, just continuing to lay down that railgun damage, damaging the backside of the tanks. So when you eventually move around back to the front, the damage is done on all sides, and there just really was no option to move around for Trap, as we do see Morons Cube close it out.
All right, one semifinal down, one more to go. We're going to toss it to a quick break. On the other side, it's Savage Academy taking on Thonk. Don't go anywhere. More core disruption around the corner.